Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by ExpressVPN, Mercari, Squarespace, and the sound of my own voice. What the hell is that? I'm Gus.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Chris.
I'm Barbara.
And
Man, I'm
I'm
so
Gus.
quiet. In
What?
comparison to you guys, I'm so quiet.
You're so
I hear myself now.
Oh, no, you're there. You just can't hear yourself. So I want to complain.
Oh my God.
Can I make a complaint? Can I complain about something on this podcast? Is that allowed?
Yes.
I'll
Are
have
we allowed
to
to
check
do
with
that?
our people.
Okay, our people.
Should
Eric,
we-
can I complain?
Should we get a complaint light that comes on when you're bitching?
So people could
probably-
like fast forward.
I think
through
that's
it.
just the lights.
Yeah, it would burn out.
It's just all of these.
It's just the podcast being on.
Listen, I have a neighbor.
Okay.
I don't know where. Somewhere behind where I live, there's a neighbor who is annoying the fuck out of me.
How so?
Too loud?
They set off fireworks during New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. Whatever. People light fireworks on New Year's Eve. That's fine.
Do they have some left over?
They have like commercial grade giant fireworks that they light until 3 a.m. And I'm talking like I was laying in bed trying to sleep with my eyes closed, and they're so bright.
As opposed to with your eyes open.
And those fireworks are so bright that I can see the light through my closed eyes in my bedroom. And I open my eyes and it's like the lights are on in my bedroom because
Jeez.
it's so fucking bright. And then it pops and my house shakes.
Were your dogs okay?
No, my dogs were not fucking okay. It was like, why? And until 3 a.m. The New Year's old by then. It's over.
3 years old. It's 3 hours old by
3
now.
hours old.
A firework should happen maybe the hour leading up to New Year's, during New Year's, and then that's it.
Right.
Like you did
And-
it. You
and-
counted down. It's New Year. You
And I
go
had a
home.
cold. I couldn't drink all night. I had taken cold medicine.
Are you sure it was your neighbor and not like someone further down? Because fireworks, you never really.
I could see them.
Oh fuck.
And I bet all the instincts of your body, seeing it light, thought, oh, it's daytime. I should be waking up now.
It's like it's a very quick dawn.
Why didn't you go talk to them?
Because I was sick and laying in bed, and I just didn't want to get up.
I can imagine you as someone who would angrily yell out your window, though.
I don't know.
bet
That
you were
they're
thinking
like
about
it's
it.
not the people who live immediately behind me. It's like I don't know if it's the street behind me or the next street over. Like it's somewhere back there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fucking annoying.
I thought my neighbor died recently.
Go on.
Well, I have a neighbor who has this really yippy dog that
Yippee dog.
that every time you walk by it, it just freaks out, you know?
How
And
does
then,
it freak out?
Like and like you
That
know,
doesn't
like
sound
trying
yippy.
to eat. Well, but also all over ranges, and
Oh,
then
okay.
tries to like eat the window pretty much to get at you. And then there was one time where like I walked by and the dog wasn't freaking out at all, but it was kind of moaning in the background. And I was like, "Oh my god!" It was a couple days where the dog wasn't barking. I was like, "Is there a dead body next door that the dog is like mourning, and that's why it's not yipping?"
Yippee dog.
But then it started yipping again. So I was like, "Okay, good. My neighbor's not dead."
Is that the extent of the story? The dog stopped barking for a day?
It sounded like yes. Well, no, it was like 2 days. 2 days of non-barking where I was like, and there seemed like there was a sad dog somewhere in the house, and I was like,
Maybe it was
investigate.
just gone like for a vacation. Or
That might have been
something
it. It's the owner might have been gone, and the dog was sad, but it seemed like
Saddy, dog.
yeah. If
Yippee dog.
my detective sensor went off, and I was like, dead body.
Detective sensor.
Did you do anything about it, or you're just like, I guess
I was
we'll
like
just
gonna wait one more day before I like called to be like, hey, I think my neighbor's dead. Because if she was alive, it would have been really awkward.
So do you have to call the police in that situation? I
think
assume
so.
someone's
I think
died.
it's called a welfare check.
Yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
annoyed though if the police came over thinking I was dead and I wasn't.
I would be okay with it because I'm like, okay, someone's looking out for me.
Yeah.
If I actually something did happen, like I know someone's looking out for me.
I guess I wouldn't be annoyed. I'd be more insulted, I guess.
Yeah, you're so
But
quiet.
what if it's like you're hurt and you need help? That's why you should call sooner rather than later.
Well, yeah, he's already calling too late.
Well, it seemed awkward.
You don't have to go and do anything.
Yeah,
they could
I don't
be
know.
like-
I just didn't want to. I don't know. I didn't want to assume based off a dog not barking. You know, like, but it's my like sensor went off. You know, I was like, something's wrong.
I wonder if there is anyone like in the Austin Police Force named Detective Sensor. Ma'am, I'm Detective Sensor. I'm here to investigate Yippee Dog.
Dog, dog, no, yippee, yippee for days. Something.
Sad, sad dog. Die.
I wonder if there are, I'm sure there are, because there's tons of people who don't really have any family or friends who might live
Yeah.
alone and own a place that they've paid off.
And then they die.
And then they pass away and nobody
You don't know?
would check on them. Nobody would know. Or like maybe if they live in a place that no one would.
Yeah, and if they're all set
Smell.
up on auto pay, they could go undiscovered for a long time.
Yeah.
Wasn't there someone like that who
there was
Yeah, I think it was someone in England who was found
it was
after like a
England
couple
for
of decades.
a long time.
There was
yeah.
a case recently that I read about where someone had died and they put their husbands in the freezer, but the husband had notarized a letter saying that there was no foul play, my wife did not kill me, but then they kept the body in the freezer for like years so that they could get retirement checks or something
Oh, geez.
for the wife. So she just
Bit of fraud.
for like 20 years until she died, and they're like, oh shit, what's all this dead people?
This body's been dead for 20 years.
There was also that story of the woman who slept next to her dead husband for like several years.
that would fucking make you retch.
Yeah, I guess
The
like the
smell
smell
of
goes
that.
away
I think
after a while.
I bet at a certain point, yeah.
They
don't
showed it.
know.
They showed a picture of it. It just looked like a bed full of mud.
Ugh.
Ugh.
But I bet there's like a really
Dark.
bad year,
Happy
and
New
then
Year.
it evened out.
Michigan woman's auto payments hid her death for over 5 years.
Wow.
Eric just sent me a link to the story.
I feel like autopay should have like an annual check-in, where it's like, yo, you still want this autopay?
No,
you have to like,
nah,
no.
because then that's how they get you.
That's how who gets you.
The auto pay.
They get what?
They you forget about it,
But if
Yeah,
they
but
checked in,
it's only once a year.
You mean
There's not
that's how
many
you get
years that
them?
huh? No, that's how the auto you forget that you're being billed, and you're like,
Well, you
So
forget a
isn't
lot
it-
of things when you're dead, Chris.
Isn't it their benefit that you forget about it then? So you keep paying?
yeah, that's why they shouldn't check in.
but that's how they get you.
Because you said that's how they get you, but you mean that's how you get them.
If
No, I think it means that's how they get
that's how they get you, because you forget that you're paying. I mean, think about all those services too that were just banking off of her dead body
you. Yeah, but how many? Okay, so how long does autopay last?
until
For you.
until
But
until it stops.
I think it's until-
What's your longest autopay currently? Phone bill?
Nah, probably electricity.
I guess it would be phone bill because I moved here and got a cell phone when I moved here.
But wouldn't you want a thing that just paused it every year and then you just enable it? You get a letter or an email and it's just like, yo, you alive still? You still want this?
You alive
Yeah,
still.
I mean, I
Hey,
think for
you
a
up?
consumer, yeah. For a consumer, yes.
What are you?
I'm a consumer, so I think that's a good idea.
I don't have anything on auto pay.
what?
I
What?
pay everything manually.
You are a psychopath.
I'm always worried that like the auto pay is going to malfunction and take out way too much money.
Yeah, but you get emails and stuff still confirming.
Yeah, after the fact, right?
Also, you have to do like a tax return anyway, don't you? You just look back on the year, and if you see one that's gone wrong,
Yeah, well, I'm going to be wrong for a year. What if they take out like 3 mortgage payments?
I think you would notice, wouldn't you?
I would fucking notice.
Right, but you'd just notice from your balance.
Yeah.
Most people also, like, if you get an auto pay for something and you look at it and you're like, this isn't the right amount, you could usually contact the place and have it settled.
And then it's a pain in the ass.
What-
Or I could just pay
guys,
it
You know what?
a
myself.
pain in the
It's more
ass
pain in the
is
ass
doing
paying it.
everything every month. That's a pain in the ass.
And I have a reminder. I've got a system.
Honestly,
I
Such a
keep,
pain in
no-
the
I
ass.
keep notes on my laptop. It's like, did I pay it this month? Yes, I did. This is the date I paid it.
Here's what I do every month. Oh, got paid.
You
Nice.
know what? Honestly, what you should do, what I do, is lose your credit card about once a year. Because then all your auto pays are canceled, and you have to put them in.
Unless it's coming from your bank draft.
Yeah.
Or
That's why
draft
I
from
think
your
my
bank.
electricity, because that's been like through my bank, and
Yeah.
Okay. I hate paying electricity bills in the city of Austin because they try to make it as easy as possible to pay with a bank draft and not a credit card. But then it's like, if I'm paying with my fucking bank draft, I don't get reward points on my credit card. And then if you try to pay with a credit card, they try to charge you like a fucking convenience fee.
Yeah.
That fee's not very convenient for me.
No.
Like, I gotta tell you,
No. They do-
it's a pain
yeah.
in the ass.
Yeah, there's some stuff that you just can't really do with credit.
Yeah.
Like mortgage and stuff is difficult,
Yep.
isn't it?
I mean, that is credit though. Like, you can't put it on a credit card.
That
Yeah.
comes.
That's what I mean.
That's a bank
Yeah.
draft, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta pay with the bank draft.
I'm an adult.
But I mean, that would be dumb to pay your mortgage on, unless you paid it again off immediately. Because like your interest on a credit card is way higher than your interest on a mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have auto pay on your credit card,
I guess so.
there are
then
like a
there's no
bunch of
interest.
13 to 16-year-olds watching this who are just like,
there's also a lot of people who don't pay for electricity in Austin who are probably like this.
What did y'all? Wait, has there been a podcast since New Year's?
No.
we haven't we recorded one. I
That
guess we
came out
recorded
on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was recorded the 30th.
Did y'all have a good New Year's?
Yeah, it was
Chris,
great.
why did you ask it like that? I feel like you're going to kill me.
No, no,
Did you
no.
all have a good New Year?
He's going to set up your auto pay and then kill you.
I'm going to do one of those things. In 2020, I will auto pay.
Yeah, it was a different one for us because usually we'd go over to Bernie's house. Bernie would have a New Year's party every year, and this year, with the baby and stuff like that, things were different, and there was like no one party to go to, and so it was just like, I guess we're not doing anything, so we just ended up chilling.
Do you think he'll ever do them again?
I don't know.
I got sick.
Oh yeah. Well,
I
you
had a
said
cold.
yeah.
And
I just took a
listen-
bunch of cold medicine and laid on the floor.
At
and
least you got your
cursed
own
cursed at
personal
my-
fireworks show.
cursed at my neighbor.
I feel like it was a rough start to the year on a global scale.
How so?
What with Australia and
Yeah, well, that was last year still, wasn't it? Didn't
Well,
that
it's
start
been,
last
but
year?
it's still going.
Yeah.
It's
Still
like-
going now,
It's pretty
but
bad.
and then everything with the airstrikes.
Yeah,
Did you
Yeah,
see?
it was a pretty intense.
it was an intense start.
Couple
I feel
days.
like we didn't really get to ease into it.
Now everyone's like 2020. It's going to be a great year.
the Pope
Fuck
slapped that woman?
2019.
Oh, I saw that. The Pope was like, "What are you doing?"
I mean, he was he's an old
She was-
dude.
she was
yanking
yanking on
him all
him.
over the place,
You don't yank a Pope.
especially one that used to.
Get that on a fucking
Well,
shirt.
that's the episode title.
You don't yank a Pope.
But didn't he used to be a bouncer as well?
The Pope?
The Pope?
Yeah,
Why are you asking me?
I don't know. Wasn't he?
What the fuck are you on about? Was he?
What do you think? Every pope starts as a pope.
Yes. They are born a pope
You don't
and they
get
die
your
a
first
pope.
job at 16 as a pope.
But I figure he's been a Pope. You've been like in the church for so long. I figure he starts like as a
Okay,
He
so
starts
someone-
like he starts like diddling kids and then works his way up from there.
No one emptied this bin, so there's like flies all over the
There's
set
a fly on the set that I'm going to kill by the end of the show. Mark my words.
You'll get demonetized.
Pope Francis was once a bouncer, a bar bouncer.
Wow. Could you imagine being
Damn.
like kicked out of a bar by the Pope?
Like this.
He didn't offer details about his career as a bouncer, though.
No
He
shit.
just said he was.
You know, I bet you that Pope. I bet he partied pretty hard in his
Yeah.
in his bouncer days.
I bet he did.
And now look at him.
Yeah, I mean,
Now he's partying harder than ever.
It's on the handle.
with God.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Okay, so we all know a VPN protects your privacy and security online, right? But recently, it's taken my TV watching game to the next level. It's super easy to use a VPN to unlock movies and shows that are only available in other countries. You see, ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you control where you want sites to think you're located, so you can choose from over 100 different countries. So just think about all that Netflix libraries you can go through. Love anime? Use ExpressVPN to access Japanese Netflix and be spirited away. But it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with any streaming service, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. Using ExpressVPN is super easy. In just a few minutes, I was up and running, more secure, and now with a whole world of entertainment. Japanese Netflix, come on, Japanese Netflix. There's hundreds of VPNs out there, but the reason I use ExpressVPN to watch shows is it's ridiculously fast. There's never any buffering or lag, and you can stream in HD with no problem. ExpressVPN is also compatible with all your devices, phones, media consoles, smart TVs, and more, so you can watch what you want on the go or on the big screen wherever you are. If you visit expressvpn.com/rooster right now, you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Support the show, watch what you want, and protect yourself at expressvpn.com/rooster. Thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
I'm gonna get it. Don't worry.
There's a fly buzzing around the set for people who can't
Are
necessarily
Popes allowed
see
to
it.
drink alcohol?
Well, they have wine every
That's
Sunday,
true.
right?
The blood of Christ.
Yeah.
Well, it's not wine. It's the blood of Christ.
Yeah, but
Right?
Yeah, in Catholicism it is.
What's that little cracker? What's that supposed to be?
the host, the body of Christ?
Is that
The
what
body
that is?
of
The body?
Christ,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know these things. The body of Christ compels you.
I was,
You should just go to church one day and just take communion.
You're not
Just
supposed
wing
to
it.
do that.
When I was a kid, that was always my favorite part because it was like snacks.
I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic mass every Sunday for
Samesies.
forever until I was 18.
I had communion and confirmation and all that stuff.
I did too. What was do you remember your confirmation saint name?
What's your confirmation
I do.
number?
I don't want to say it.
Why not?
Personal, isn't it?
It's personal.
Is it?
Mine was Mark.
What?
It's like this whole fucking
Yeah.
deal.
What is it? You get like a.
There's like a patron saint that you like.
You
take
get
the name
assigned?
of when you do your confirmation.
So is it like when you go up to heaven, like you have to check in with Mark?
Or no, you are Mark.
It's like a Hogwarts house.
I got sorted into Mark, the House of Mark, and Deuteronomy and Leviticus. I don't know. I'm just naming Bible stuff.
Leviticus. Yeah, and then there's that whole. Then you mentioned also like the Iran. Oh no, wait. There's something else I want to mention. Did you see that model who was selling nudes to raise money for the Australian?
Didn't she get up to like
Oh,
$300,000
That was
or
like
something?
$500,000.
The last I read was $500,000.
Holy shit.
that's wild. That's good. That's a good cause.
Yeah.
Would you get
That's
your
like
knob out
po-
for a good cause?
That's like fapping with a purpose, man.
Would you, Gavin?
I think it depends.
If someone's like, I will donate $500,000 to what's going on in Australia if you send me a picture of your dick, would you do it?
Yeah, sure. Good
Good
cause.
man. Good man.
I'd probably get some nice lighting on it though.
Yeah.
Make sure.
What if
looks
it was just the little tip, like just the head? That's
You
all
leave
they
it in
wanted.
bibia.
Yeah.
Like, who knows
Yeah.
what else is attached?
Who knows how long it is?
You can get a shaft shot.
What you should do is you should get 3 separate pictures: the head, and then the middle, and then the base.
like you got to collect them all.
Yeah, yeah, and you have to like, if you want the rest, you got to donate another $500,000.
So yeah, she's I guess sending nudes to every person who donates at least $10 to one of a set of fundraisers.
Damn, and that many people donated.
I mean,
must be really hot.
It's great. Well, no, it's also a good cause.
Oh, for sure. No, it's great that that's the way that it works for
Would
them.
you do it? Would you get your growler out there for money?
Growler.
Was that-
Only if no
what
one
is a growler?
ever refers to it as a growler ever again.
Wait, is a growler a vagina?
Yeah.
Well, I think of a growler of a vagina as like growler seems in conflict with the what I typically think of for a vagina.
Okay.
Dog
Yeah.
and cat, you know,
Dog and cat.
cat is typically what you associate with the vagina.
You never heard a cat growl?
No.
What about like a cheetah? Whoa.
I want that sound isolated. Can you set up like a smart home routine where it's like you turn the lights down low and then it's Chris going rawr.
Alexa, play bedtime.
Is Gene back?
Gene
I
Pants.
saw Gene somewhere.
Hi, Gene Pants.
I heard
Gene.
I could hear your laugh.
You heard her laugh before you saw her? Kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's from because we did a video. Trevor and I made a video once where we were trying to push peanut butter through a nose, and Trevor stuck it on the kitchen cabinets out there, but then it fell off and landed in Jean's food.
No, really? Oh,
And I thought she'd be annoyed, but she just laughed.
she's a good sport.
And so you remembered her
Yeah,
her laugh since then.
yeah, because I watched that bit so many times. It was very funny to me. Welcome back.
I also want to point out, I was going to mention this at the start of the podcast so people don't think I'm weird. I got eyelash extensions yesterday, and I guess the glue or whatever they used did not agree with my eyes. And so they're very red and bloodshot. I'm not on drugs.
No one farted in your eye.
No one farted in my eye. I don't have pink eye. They're just not reacting well to that. So I'm just going to say that.
They look fine from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it makes you feel better, I hadn't noticed.
I
at
brought these just in case.
all. Hey.
If it makes you feel any better, I did notice, but I just didn't say anything.
Thank you, Gavin. Nice friend.
I have something I want to admit to while we're talking about like
Ooh.
our church stuff. I might as well confess here.
Can we have a special segment?
Chris
RT
confesses.
Podcast Confessions. Chris, go ahead.
I think I accidentally stole a toy from charity for kids.
All right. How old were you?
I'm
wanna know-
gonna guess this was last month.
Yes.
Do we also want to? Was it here?
Yes.
Was there a donation box that you somehow took something out of?
Yes.
How did you do that accidentally?
So, okay.
I can't even imagine how this plays out.
So, you know how like in the break room, people are always putting boxes of stuff that's like, take this, take this, take this.
Yeah.
And so there's always just like, you know, people are cleaning out their desks or people send shit or whatever. There's always random stuff in the break room. And especially at the end of the year, because there's people cleaning out and moving. We had a whole move office thing. So there was tons of stuff in the break room for a long time. And I was like, it was like the last day before Christmas. And I was looking around and I was like, oh, here's this in a box in the break room.
Was it on the table or was it?
It was
on
off to the
wall?
side. It was off to the side. And I was like, oh, this Harry Potter thing that like, I guess people are giving, well, I guess, I don't know why someone wouldn't want this. I was like, I'll take it because my sister likes Harry Potter. I'll give it to my sister. And I took it.
It's also wrapped up. And
No, it wasn't wrapped up. It wasn't
and
wrapped up.
sealed.
It wasn't wrapped up. Maybe the box that it was in was wrapped up, but not like, it was a big box. And I just saw, it was the only toy in this box.
Oh, okay.
So it was like by itself. So it looked like something that someone had just like, oh, here's some shit that I, don't want.
Which happens.
Yeah. And so I took it.
Normally accompanied with a sign that says free, please take.
Yeah. Well, whatever, And so
on
I
this one.
grabbed it. I was like, oh, I can give this to my sister. She likes Harry Potter. And I leave. And then like something in the back of my head, like, whenever you do something, it just sticks weird. And as I was taking it out of my trunk, I was like, something didn't feel right. I felt off.
This thing says to Timmy.
Well,
on
no.
it.
And then I was like, and then I realized I was like, I remember reading an email. We had toy donations. So then I was like, oh shit. And then I searched Google, I searched my email, and I was like, we are giving away toy donations. They're in this box in the break room. And I
The
was
box that's covered in gift wrapping paper that's off to the side.
like, yes.
You thought that was people giving stuff away.
I just thought it was like, hey, come grab this. And so then I felt really bad.
And then, so that's what you were going to give your sister for Christmas was
Well,
something
it was like
free
a bonus
you
gift.
found
It was a
at
bonus
work.
gift. It was a bonus gift.
A bonus gift.
Anyway, and so then I felt really bad. And then I said, but we're picking them up on Friday afternoon.
What day was this now?
This was Friday night. So it was too late. They'd already been picked up. So I was like, well, I just fucked it.
Well, you took the
fucked
one. You
it.
took the one
What?
toy that was in there.
I took the one toy, or they had already been picked up.
Oh,
and
maybe.
maybe that was the toy. So I don't know. So then I went and just made a donation to that charity that was worth more than the toy.
But kept the toy.
Well, because I didn't know what to do with the toy
Right.
anyway. Also, to be fair, it wasn't a good toy because it was a calendar thing that had Harry Potter toys, but it was for 2019, and we were going to 2020, so it wasn't a good gift anyway.
Yeah, there's no way kids would ever put up with that.
Well, no. I mean, I'm not saying I'm still a bad person.
So you fucked it.
What do you mean?
That's what you said.
Oh, I
fucked it.
I fucked it.
My
I
favorite
fucked up.
thing
So I
about
want to know who's. Sorry, Karen.
well, I was just gonna say my favorite thing about Chris. Whenever he's telling a story where he wants to defend himself, he always goes like
He
this.
puts his fingers up.
It's always
Don person, I will not.
he just talks very slowly.
Yeah.
And every point he makes, he just points his fingers.
Like Bernie Sanders.
I am not a crook. No.
So
that's a
whose
different one.
was it?
Well, it's I assume a child in need. It was who would have received it. What do you
I
mean?
mean, like, who put it there?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out now.
Yeah.
Someone very generous who has a very good skill at giving good gifts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you lost me for a second. What did you end up doing with it?
I still have it.
I didn't even give it.
Well, no, because I was like, I gave it to my sister, and she's like, oh, I already have that. Because
So it's for nothing.
Wait, you gave it to your sister? Well, you ended up giving it to your sister.
yes, because it was too past the donation thing, and so I made a monetary donation that was worth more than the gift.
Right, but then you ended up still giving it to your sister.
Well, yes, but then she had already gotten it the year before because it was a calendar for that year. So she already had it.
Imagine the child that would have opened up that gift, loves Harry Potter, and that would have just made
And
their
they
Christmas.
love the year 2019. They wanted to
Yeah.
remember it forever.
That's the thing is, that's why I made the donation so that I could feel better about myself.
Not to do something good.
Well, no, because
Just Just so you can feel better about
Well, no,
yourself.
because I felt so bad. I felt really, really bad.
Yeah, for sure.
And then your sister had to tell you you gave her a shit gift.
Well, I gave her another gift too. That was like a bonus
What
gift.
was the other gift?
I
It was the 2021.
A
well,
Harry Potter 2020 calendar.
I gave her a Hell Clayton shirt. Oh my god! And
Did you get her anything that wasn't
yes,
free?
yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
This better be a good and.
Yes, and then I also got her a Game of Thrones mug, a Game of Thrones mug that said I drink beer and I know stuff or something.
Okay.
okay.
I drink beer and I know stuff or something.
good
Or
gift.
something. I don't remember. It was
The famous Tyrion Lannister quote.
yeah.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by Mercari. It's 2020, and guess what? All the stuff in your home that you didn't use in 2019 is still there. It's taking up space, being useful to absolutely no one. So don't let another year go by. Just sell it on Mercari. You know, Mercari is the selling app that makes selling almost anything fast and easy. So here's where you begin. You go through your home, find all that stuff you didn't use in 2019, the phone in the drawer, those jeans you only wore once, the handbag hiding in the back of your closet. Listing takes just minutes. You snap a few pics, add a description, and boom, your item is connected to millions of buyers on the app. Mercari will even email you a shipping label when it sells. Everything ships, so there are no awkward meetups with strangers. I don't want to meet people. I just want them to buy my stuff. That's it. The app has over 500,000 reviews on the App Store with an average 4.8 star rating, so why not give it a try? Ring in the new year with less stuff in your home and more money in your pocket with Mercari. That's Mercari, Mercari, the selling app. Thank you, Mercari, for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
It is funny to know how many people who work at Rooster Teeth have given Rooster Teeth merchandise as gifts to family members and friends for the holidays. Because it's just like, do they know that
once
you
done that.
get that either for free or a good discount,
Serious discount, yeah.
employee discount?
Well, it's also like my family's like, oh, I want a shirt and I want,
Yeah, I guess it's something they want.
yeah.
You know,
Not that that's the only thing I get, but like that and Harry Potter advent calendars.
did you guys see the two guys? I think they tweeted it at you. Two guys who got each other Hail
I
Clayton
thought
shirts.
yes.
That was awesome.
It was so heartwarming.
Yeah, it was great.
The perfect holiday gift for next year.
For next year.
What was the best gift you guys got for the holidays?
I didn't get any gifts.
You didn't get any
No,
gifts?
wait. My mom got me some socks. That was pretty good.
Oh.
Hey,
So Esther didn't get you a gift?
No, we didn't give each other gifts.
You don't?
No.
I like that.
Nope, no pressure. If we see something we want during the year, we get it.
You also you live together. You've been married for
We're married for a long
so
time.
long.
Yeah.
It's like
What-
if you need something, you get it.
Don't you
Right.
get a bit of joy watching her open something on Christmas Day?
Joy?
What is that?
No gifts. It was super simple. No gifts, no auto pay. 2020.
yeah.
Gab, what'd you get?
What did I get?
Yeah, did you get any good gifts?
Yeah, I got a little coupon for rubs. Little thingy.
What kind of rubs?
Not a happy ending rubs. Just normal, bog standard.
Is that what Chris got you?
Yeah, he found it in a box.
Chris Damaris.
Yeah.
He scared the shit out of me today.
What'd he do?
I was sitting there at my office, and we're working on this development thing for another podcast, and I'm typing like a list of, like, I'm trying to think, I'm typing this list out, and it's quiet. I'm in my office by myself. The door's open, and Chris needs to tell me something. So Chris jumps into my office. I don't know he's out there. He just like
Well, yeah, 'cause you
jumps
said-
in. He goes, "Hey Gus!" And I'm like, Jesus.
You sit in a way where you can't really see.
Right. I have no idea he's out there.
Yeah.
He jumped in screaming at my name.
Yeah.
I almost fell out of my fucking chair.
I always move with purpose.
A jump?
Purpose to scare the shit out of someone?
Well, I was just like, hey Gus, like excited.
That's gonna make Gus unexcited.
Well, because I jumped in not thinking you were at your desk, so I was
So
just
why you jumped into an empty office?
yes. I wouldn't have jumped in if I knew you were in there, but I was like,
So then you're moving without purpose.
So you would have jumped into an empty room?
Purposeless.
well, I was like,
How many
oh, I don't
empty
think you did it.
offices have you jumped into?
We gotta get more security cameras of Chris jumping into empty offices.
You're
Well, I
just
was like,
practicing?
I don't think he's in here. I'm just gonna jump in real quick.
So you jumped in like, hey Gus, and Gus was like, ah, and you were like, ah.
I saw as I jumped in, I was like, oh, Gus is there. Hey, Gus.
And then I think I went, you scared the shit out of me, Chris.
Yeah. Sorry.
What did you want to tell him?
I was gonna see if he could be on Good Morning from Hell,
Oh.
but he was busy, so we're gonna do it another week.
Some other time.
Who are you going to play?
We hadn't talked.
Yeah,
about
no,
Okay.
we'll talk about that
You
later.
should just play yourself. You'd be in hell, right?
I'll get there.
Eventually.
What about you, Chris? Did you get anything good for Christmas?
Yeah,
I assume you have high expectations. It is named after you.
yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, my family does this thing also because my grandmother used to always spend so much money on Christmas that we would we're not getting each other. That's another reason why I give shitty gifts. Is we did this thing where we're we're not gonna give gifts to each other. We're low key, so my grandmother wouldn't spend so much money. We just do this gift giving game where you have to trade and everyone gives
It's like The Office.
yeah, you put in 3 $10 gifts and then you trade and fight for them.
Yeah.
So I did that.
You
and-
fight?
Well, you oh, I want that. We did that. I got some nice
fight.
socks.
Oh, nice.
I got some nice sunglasses. Because I had my car broken
Thank you
into.
for showing us what sunglasses
I had
are.
did I tell you how my car broken into?
No.
What happened?
Well, it was broken into, sort of. Well, no. It was
mean?
it was broken into technically, but not broken into. So what happened is,
I don't think breaking into someone's car necessarily needs to involve them breaking something.
yeah, they didn't break anything. That's
It's
the
just,
thing.
It's just opening your car when they're not supposed to. And taking
The
something.
the little lock on my car, the button, the boop boop thing.
The boo boo?
It for whatever reason, every once in a while, once in 10, whenever I lock my car, it doesn't lock one door.
Oh, weird.
Why don't you tell us which door?
No, I'm not gonna tell you, because I've also now gotten where I check it. Where if I don't, I check it every time.
Okay.
But I didn't. It was whenever I first started doing that, and so I locked my car and then went up, and then I went home. I went to my car the next day, and there was shit everywhere. Someone had just ruffled through my car. I was like, I don't remember
Oh,
doing
shit.
this. And then I was like, oh shit, my car isn't locking. Someone's broke into my car, but they didn't break into it. They just opened the door.
Which is breaking into your car.
Yeah, they opened.
Did they take anything? Did you have anything in there?
Well, yeah, I had some nice sunglasses.
Oh, those got taken.
Yeah, and a whole booklet of the frequent purchase places where
Yeah.
you buy 10. I had a whole booklet of them from different places and gift cards and stuff. I had them all in a little book thing. They just took the whole book.
Oh
Of
my
course, it's
god.
convenient for them.
Yeah,
It's a good thing you didn't have a coupon for massages in there.
I know.
Oh, sorry, rubs.
For rubs.
Why are there so many people on Twitter who are just the worst? Because I tweeted that at the end of the last decade, right before New Year, I was like, that decade certainly wasn't a boring one. And someone replied, well, technically the decade doesn't end until next year because there was no year zero. Because I know that argument where it's millennium, all that stuff. But a decade is a decade.
It's 10 years regardless.
I'm talking about the last 10 years. Is he saying that the decade is 11 years? What is that person talking about? And why do people like that always talk to me?
Also, who cares?
Yeah.
You're just making a point about how it's just been
There's
crazy.
just always someone who's like, actually,
The best tweets and the best sentences start with "well, actually" and "well, technically." Those are the two best ones.
The other thing I really love is when you put out a video of you doing anything and someone has to correct something about it. Specifically, exercise videos where someone is just like, you gotta do this for your form, and this you're not doing this right. You gotta do this.
let us be wrong.
Also, just I don't. Stop. I didn't
Yeah.
ask.
Anytime someone asks me what I do at the gym, I'm like, I lift heavy stuff and then go home. That's it.
Yeah.
I just I don't really know what I'm doing.
See, I don't either, but that's why I have a trainer
Yeah.
who knows what she's doing. And so if I post a video of something that she's getting me to do, she knows proper form. She is
Yeah.
a certified trainer. I don't need Mr. Joe Schmo on Twitter telling me that my shoulders are too high.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. But I would appreciate you shutting up more.
Yeah. I went to
Mako
the,
one in chat over here was very concerned that they got your punch cards.
yeah, I was super sad. I had a lot of stuff. I was built
Very,
up.
very valuable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you think about dollar value and some of them were I had free ice creams, 2 of them. I went to the gym with Blaine recently at when we were in LA with Funhouse, and I just went in the clothes I was in because I didn't have I didn't change.
We're wearing jeans?
Yeah, I was wearing jeans and just and he made fun of me because he said I was doing an Oompa Loompa.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess I was just lifting weights like this, and he said it looked like I was a little Oompa Loompa dancing. And he's like, I don't know what Chris was doing, but it looked like an Oompa Loompa.
It's also different if you're like at the gym with someone or whatever is happening. But if you're like, oh, I'm very proud of this progress I'm making. Here's this video of me doing this thing. Like,
Wow.
that's not really calling for like, I want everyone's opinions on how I'm doing this wrong or right. But thank you.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Squarespace has plenty of template designs for whatever kind of site you want, including galleries, blogs, commerce, calendars, and more. There are no plugins necessary. Squarespace has been publishing sites on the web for more than a decade and includes all the best-known practices for SEO, and again, no plugins. We've all talked about partnering with Squarespace on this podcast for a long time now because it really is that easy to use. Many of us here use them for personal sites, and you should definitely give them a try when you need a simple web page, online portfolio, or a full business site. We've been asking you to share your Squarespace creator websites. We've gone through, picked some of our favorites, and as a reminder, with Squarespace, you can make sites like this, so be sure to tweet at us with hashtag RTSquarespace. Here's a few of our favorites. First up, we have @AngelIsUnnamed. It's Angel's Unnamed Podcast. Next up, we have @GCrease, Gregory Kreisel. Hope I got that right. And last up, we have @Menj.wood, Menj.woodwork, Menj.? Taking a guess here. All right, thanks for showing us your sites. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/roosterteeth to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks, Squarespace, for sponsoring this episode of the RT Podcast. I've been vegan now for almost 3 months. Yeah, almost 3 months. Coming up on 3
technically,
months.
it's not 3 months though.
2 decades. I've been. I don't like using that term, vegan. I feel like I've been eating a plant-based diet. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Does that make more
Yeah.
sense? Because I still wear leather.
Whatever makes you happy, Gus.
Okay, I've been eating a plant-based diet for almost 3 months now, and I realized that I've been slowly losing weight. Like I didn't do this with any intention of losing weight, but it seems like I've been losing about a pound a week. I'm about 12 pounds down from where I was when I started.
Wow.
I asked you like maybe a couple weeks ago if you've lost weight or seen any health benefits, and you said no.
I think you asked me like a month in.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
and I really hadn't noticed, or because by that point it was like 4 pounds maybe. It's like, who knows? Maybe that's just a fluctuation.
Are you working out at all? Or
No,
is it...
I'm not doing anything. I'm still eating like shit. I'm still drinking.
Well, you're not eating like shit. That's the thing.
Well,
It's
no,
like,
I mean, you can still eat like shit. Like French fries are vegan.
You're eating plant-based shit.
Bread, right? It's like
Yeah.
I'm still
okay.
eating like shit. It's all plant-based. It's just not.
I feel like it's easier to eat like shit if you have the entire
Oh,
variety of food in
You
front
can
of
still,
you.
you can still eat like.
Where's our bevs at, by the way?
Do we have any more bevs, Eric?
I
Thanks,
have a
Eric.
beer.
Eric's
You
fine.
have a beer?
I just didn't have one. Didn't get one.
I thought there was another one out there.
Yeah.
this, you can have some of
and-
this. My God, it's
Gum on it.
I woke up in the middle of the night the other night. I had a nightmare on Saturday night that Eric gave me a cheeseburger and I ate it. And then after I was done eating it, I was like, wait a minute. That wasn't vegan.
I'm ruined.
Like it was a real cheeseburger.
That was a real nightmare.
it was a cheeseburger from Wendy's.
Oh.
And I woke up and I was like, okay, it's okay. It was just a dream.
I had a nightmare on Saturday too, and Eric was in it too. I think I told Eric I was at some random party, and there were like some bad people in the party, and people started just like stabbing everyone with heroin.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and
Those
so
are some bad people.
yeah, and so like I was like. Eric got stabbed with heroin, and then someone stabbed me with heroin. And I was like, "Oh my God, I just got stabbed with a dirty needle of heroin," and I freaked out.
That's to me more of a nightmare than
Thank you, Eric.
accidentally
Thank you.
eating a burger. Thanks, Eric.
I saw
From Wendy's, though.
I saw security. I like Wendy's. Oh yeah, I used to like Wendy's.
Also, I thought it was underrated or overrated in
heroin-
my dream.
heroin just
I was
didn't
like,
do it
this
for
is
you?
nothing. This is just more. But also, it was a dream.
I saw
Let me just clarify. It was a dream.
on Reddit the other day, I saw this security camera footage at this convenience store where this man is standing there like he's paying for something, and this random woman comes up to him and stabs him with a needle,
Oh,
and he like steps back and is like, and he's like holding his arm.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like some woman just had a needle and came up and stabbed him, and like
What was in it?
I guess it was just a used needle that she had
Oh
used.
God, yeah, but
Right, and he had
That's
to go to
terrifying.
he had to
You
go to
get
the hospital and
HIV.
right have like all the tests and
Shit,
everything
man.
done. Right, just like out of nowhere. Can you imagine? You're just at the store like, buying something,
yeah.
and someone just stabs
That
you
was
with a
like me
fucking
at the
eel.
party.
Right, exactly.
It's just terrifying what could happen to you when you just like have zero expectations of something like that. You could just be like at a coffee shop. Like wasn't there
Yeah.
a stabbing in Austin last week or
Just
something?
this past weekend.
On
Oh, wait.
South Congress,
It was
right?
on Friday, yeah.
And
it was
it
at
was-
the Bennu Coffee over there, like at Congress and Riverside.
Yeah, some guy, I guess they got in an argument and some guy pulled a knife and started stabbing people and then ran across the street and started stabbing more people there.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know if you've ever been there. There's like that Bennu Coffee and there's a Freebirds right next to it. I think he started in the Bennu, then he went across the parking lot to the Freebirds, and then he climbed on the top of a building and jumped off of it.
Did he die?
No.
I think he was injured though, like pretty bad.
If he jumped off of Freebirds, those are generally one story.
Maybe, you know where that one's kind of tall. It's like,
Is it?
it's a little tall.
It would be funny if he's like, Freebird!
That would be funny. What the fuck are you on about, Chris?
Well, the dude jumping off a building yelling Freebird
He wanted
and then
to be
not
a free
flying,
bird.
not flying.
There is some
There's
irony
something there, like of like him thinking he could fly or something. I don't know. There was a dude.
But like that's just like you're just at a fucking Freebirds,
yeah,
which is a taco burrito place
Burrito
here
place,
in
yeah.
Austin.
It's like a Chipotle.
Like you're just there getting food, and then all of a sudden this fucking lunatic with a knife just
Well-
decides to have a bad day.
I mean, we might have talked about it, or y'all might have talked about it. But in England, there was that guy who tried to. I think he had explosives, and someone grabbed a narwhal tusk.
Yeah, it was a
Narwhal.
narwhal tusk.
And like
Fended him off.
fought him off with a narwhal horn. That's
Narwhal.
Narwhal.
huh?
Narwhal.
Narwhal. It's not a whale.
Narwhal.
I mean, it's in the same, ballpark.
All right, well, I always thought it was a whale.
Were you the one who also didn't know how to pronounce United Emirates?
Maybe.
but United Arab Emirates.
I think
I love
there was
Chris.
wasn't there more to that story? Like one of the people who tackled him or fought him off was about to be released from prison. Like he was a murderer who had been in prison in the UK, and he was like on release. Like they were slowly starting to let him out more and more because he was about to be fully released from prison. And the family of the person that he murdered didn't know he was going to be released. They saw him in the news. It's like one of the people who tackled the guy,
That's wild.
and they were like, "What the fuck?" And
Well, what a good way to like earn your way back to society if you're like, I'm tackling, other bad guys. That's a great origin story.
It is.
Yeah, some people
Write
are
it
just
down.
some people are just so impressive, like at the drop of a hat. Just like
Yeah.
some people just don't run; they just tackle shit head on.
Those are the
Crazy.
people we need. Those are the heroes we need.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like it's rising to the occasion in those moments. I did that recently.
Did a bit of a fight or flight situation.
Yes. So I was in.
I'm curious to know what you did. That's at all like attacking a terrorist.
No. I didn't. It wasn't. It was just rising to the occasion. I was in Colorado recently. I was snowboarding, and I'd gone. The first was like a half day, pretty much. So I mostly just fell. Second day, it's hard. You fall a lot.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the second day, I was like really getting the hang of it. And then my buddy was like, because they closed the slopes at like 4:30. So we jumped on the last, he's like, come on. And we got on the last little like thing up the mountain to the very, very top of the mountain before they closed. And we're going down it. And then the ski patrol comes around and they're like, oh, we got these guys on the mountain. And they want to go home. And I'm like, holy shit. Like they are waiting on me to snowboard down this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy, he could snowboard real fast, so he just went down the mountain real fast. And I snowboarded faster and better than because they were watching me. Every time I fell, they were like three people waiting for me to get down the mountain.
Do you think that maybe if you had enough people watching you, you could be like an Olympic caliber snowboarder? Like, right? Like if you joined the Olympics,
so much better. And
you could win a gold medal if enough people watch.
I went the furthest I've ever gone. In the 2 days I snowboarded without falling. I was like,
impressive.
I was going like.
I was gonna say that's impressive because most people under pressure will fuck up.
No, I like rose until.
So do they have to be there in real life, or could you just like stream it on Twitch? And if you got like 50,000 people watching, would you be the best snowboarder?
Maybe I might. I mean, I think it's like one of those things. Like I I did fall one time really hard and hit my head. Someone asked.
I think that explains a lot about this podcast.
This is
No,
getting,
but
this
like
making sense.
Yippee dog.
Yeah, but then I was like, I looked up and they're like, they were turned the other direction. I think they were talking. I was like, they didn't see me. And then I like jumped up and like kept snowboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I snowboarded better in that, and I went down that fucking mountain fast.
How fast were you going?
Faster than I'd done, because I'd done that same thing up earlier, and it took me like a long time because I had to stop and take breaks, and I kept falling, and I was like,
Have you done skiing before?
no, I'd never done any of it.
Really?
No,
Damn, that's impressive.
and
I've never done that either.
Why'd you go straight into snowboarding?
because my friend snowboarded, and he just taught me rather than like taking lessons. He was like, "Oh, I'll just teach you."
Skiing's pretty straightforward.
I think skiing, for what I heard, is skiing is easier to learn, harder to master,
Oh, interesting.
and then snowboarding you just fall a lot at the beginning, and then you get better.
Maybe we should enter you into sort of like a future Olympics.
Yeah,
and
I'll
see
do
if
it.
you can actually
Hey,
reach
Olympics,
that standard.
can we submit someone in 20 years for your consideration?
Remember, we did that one athletic thing years ago. The live stream, the
Oh, the
yeah, it's like-
Shape Up?
Shape Up,
Yeah.
and I won that big trophy.
You did.
Yeah,
I remember that.
It was,
was
a big
fun.
trophy.
That was a
was a
huge
big
trophy.
trophy.
That was a fun little stream.
Forgot
was really
about
fun.
that. It's like 3 years ago, 4
that
years
was a
ago.
while ago.
I
It was
remember that's
5
like the most exercise our whole group has done.
I know.
Cumulatively in like a year. Everyone was like, it's great. We need to exercise more.
So you know how last year Dan's miles were like just
Oh,
shy?
God.
He was, I think, 148,000 or 149,800, or he's like 200 miles away.
Right, less than 500 away.
He should have just taken a flight.
You're right. He should have.
Did you read that story of that guy who went on a mileage run to get status to Mexico?
Oh, I did.
What did he do?
And what happened?
He went to Mexico. I'm going to get the story wrong because I only read it once.
He was really short. Just
Really
to set it
short,
up,
yeah.
And he had the option to buy enough miles to get him to the
It
next
was
level
going
of
to be
status.
$1,800.
Right. So he figured it was cheaper just to fly to Mexico.
Yeah.
So he went.
He was going to spend like 24 hours in Mexico. And he like went out to a bar and something happened where the bouncer or something was just like, I need to take your passport from you and yourself, or not your cell phone, but your passport from you. And it got into like this big fight and this argument. And then like the police came and picked him up. And apparently like the people at the bar and the police were like in on it together.
Like
Like
the-
they fuck over tourists.
He had
or
bought
something.
like 2 beers and then tried to pay for it, and they tried to charge him $300.
Oh yeah.
That was
That's what it was.
was.
And then
Yeah.
like he's like, I can't pay that. And then they took his wallet and his passport and everything like that. And he got put in jail. And he had to get some other woman was in there, and she like bailed him out and drove him to the airport and everything. And like he managed to get back to the US, but he also like had this little love story with her too. It was
Right.
like this crazy 24-hour period of like almost getting stuck in Mexico, falling in love with someone, getting bailed out by them.
And he's like, I can't stay, babe. I gotta get the miles.
I think she was from Kenya or
I
something.
think she was from Kenya. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just looked it up. She was from Kenya.
It's
And she was
incredible.
also scammed and jailed.
Yeah,
Wow.
the same way I think.
So we were gonna have Dan and I were gonna shoot last week, but the shoot got pushed to this week, and Dan was relying on that to hit executive platinum. So Dan ended last year with 99,000.
But can't you? Isn't it till January 30th?
No, it's calendar year. He should have immediately booked another flight. Just
No, but if you book it
no, you have to take
in
you
2019, you have to take it. I think if you book it,
you have to travel. You have
Really?
you have to actually physically make the trip.
And also, like booking a flight last minute right before New Year's is not cheap.
Yeah.
oh for sure.
you just have to. I mean, one flight like 1,000
What's
miles.
the cheapest place I could go?
But I think he didn't realize until after. I think he was like, it was already the New Year. He was like, oh God, yeah, I didn't fly. So once again, Dan just falls short.
So where does he get put down to the next level or back
Yeah,
to
we
gold?
Platinum Pro.
So he's okay.
Just don't get the old system wide.
I barely made the minimum for
Gold.
like the
executive.
lowest level.
For gold? Oh, because
For,
you're in United.
I fly United, like for silver. I think I flew like 26,000 miles last year.
That's
oh
awesome.
shit.
Yeah, it's great. It was really really nice. Not to
I'm hoping for that this
be
year.
flying.
I'm hoping I don't meet the minimum level.
I guess I made it, and I was like, I'm happy I made it. Most of it was done at the beginning of the year when I went on vacation.
They really try to get you though with that. Oh, just pay this amount to keep your status or to get
It's
to the
just
next
a
status.
ridiculous,
so
exorbitant
I
amount.
did it 1 year because it was like the cost of a flight. Where I'm like, fuck it, I fly enough that whatever I get from the benefits from the status, it'll be worth it for the whole year.
And you probably value your time more than flying somewhere
Yeah.
pointlessly.
But this year it was like almost $2,000 they wanted me to pay.
What?
And I'm like, fuck that. That's shit. My God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on like, I guess what value you find in it and how often you're planning to fly that year. Because like with Platinum Pro, I think you get automatic upgrades or upgrade requests,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean, is there anything worse for the environment than flying for no reason other than to hit some fictional rank?
The ultimate.
That's like
Yeah.
the biggest FU to the environment.
I guess the question is if the plane is already gonna fly it.
I mean,
like,
most planes are
I'm
pretty sold
curious.
out these days.
That's true. But if you bought it last minute and it's a plane that's already gonna happen, then how much are you affecting the environment? I don't know. Planes, I mean, it's not good for the environment. That's my other thing this year is to be more vocal about
Climate change.
climate change and the environment.
I also feel like
Okay.
What?
What positive steps are you taking to fight climate change?
I mean, I think what everyone needs to do is just little things like not using this plastic is awful for the environment. Using just like example, whenever we get lunch every Monday, I always get I don't use the disposable plastics. I just get plates and silverware.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I was gonna suggest that for our shoots, we try and not whenever we shoot in the office, we don't get plastics and paper. We just use our
because
plates.
you've got cupboards full of real plates.
Yeah, and then things like keeping rags instead of paper towels, using those instead. I mean,
Yeah, but in like an office though, a
Also-
minging rag is pretty.
Someone's
minging.
got to
well,
be
no, you
responsible
can use
for
a rag.
washing
You
it.
use a rag. You just wash it. Just wash them.
Well, the problem is who's washing that.
Well, that's more for your house.
Okay.
For your house.
okay.
At your house.
That makes more sense.
At your house,
For sure.
just put some rags in place of your paper towels.
Yeah, I got tea towels on
You
the
could
go.
also do washable napkins.
Yep.
My family does that.
Yeah, and then
Cloth napkins that they just wash.
just I mean, not using straws.
Don't flush the toilet
recycling.
if you just keep shitting.
Well,
Until
If
it-
it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
I flush the toilet at my house less. I don't do it at the office. I'll always
Thank you
flush-
for not doing it at the
I always
office.
at the office, but at my own house, if I like pee at night, I'll pee again in the morning, and I'll just flush it then. You know, like, what else? Let's see. There's so many things.
It's good. It's all good advice. I was curious to see where you were coming
Yeah,
from.
it's a lot of, and also just vocalizing to people whenever someone's like, I don't get when people go to get water and they go and get a plastic water bottle, and it's like, you don't need a plastic water bottle. Just refill your cup at the sink.
I heard because there's like this whole fuss about straws and plastic straws and how people are like absolutely disgusted by people using plastic straws and how it's like an environmental crisis. And like, yes, it's not great. It's not good for the environment. But I heard that pollution in oceans and lakes and whatnot, 99% of that is fishing equipment. And that's like the real issue that people are
Like old nets and stuff.
completely avoiding and unaware of and not talking about. I don't know if you want to fact check that, but that's just something I heard recently
See.
of just like, this is the real problem that we should be focusing on, not people using a plastic straw. once
But,
in
I
a
mean,
while.
I think it's all cumulative, though. It's like,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think like if you want to take steps like that, you should, and you should be more diligent about it. But if you really are that
So
appalled by it,
I'm reading at the Mercy for Animals website, which says straws aren't the real problem. God damn it! What the fuck is this? Straws aren't the real problem. Fishing nets account for 46% of all ocean plastic.
okay, so
That's a lot.
99% was a lot higher
well,
than
46 is still a huge,
It's huge.
amount.
And that's just fishing nets.
Yeah,
That is crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
that's wild.
So just don't use any fishing nets.
I hadn't. and I don't think
I will
ever-
reduce my use of fishing nets to 0 in 2020.
But I also I don't know the steps you could take in helping reduce that. You know,
other than
no idea how you could
like
affect that.
going vegan and not eating fish.
Well,
Boom.
fish are gross to begin with.
I don't know
whoa,
that.
you take that back.
But that and we need a carbon tax, but that's getting too political.
Listen, even saying the word climate is political nowadays.
Yeah,
so
I
be
know, which is
careful.
so weird to me that the idea that like protecting the environment and protecting our climate is political.
Yeah.
But
It's
I don't know.
I
strange.
think people who are scared or intimidated by those things will make it political, try to make it more divisive.
Well, the response I always get, I tweeted the video of the time lapse of the ice cap.
Oh, and I love that. I
Yeah.
sent that to my mom.
Oh, you did? And the caption I put was just like, not politics. But the biggest response I got in response to that was, but the solutions are. I mean, sure.
Oh, God.
It sucks. It's terrible.
What a
Man, it's
weird.
fucking depressing.
What a weird.
Anyway,
Everybody
I
talk
can
about
bring
it
everyone
now.
down with.
Can I tell a dick
What?
joke or
Yeah.
something?
Please.
I'm a fly less. That's my contribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lose a lot of money doing that, but
Gotcha,
just fly
gotcha.
too much. I don't even like flying.
Yeah. Well, and you can use the My Paper Towels thing.
Yeah.
You get some rags.
I got rags. I got rags.
And you can reuse yours. I use socks.
I should do a plant-based cooking segment for the podcast.
You should. I would eat some. I would eat the shit out of some plants.
Plants don't have shit, dude. I think you're missing the point.
Oh, yeah. I guess they gotta have some. They don't have any shit.
I think I broke Chris's brain.
I was just thinking about like, do they not have any waste that comes out of their roots or anything? And I was like,
Yeah,
no, they
oxygen.
absorb through the
Oxygen.
roots. I guess oxygen is their waste. That's it.
Well, they don't produce oxygen. They just remove
Isn't
carbon,
also
right?
another
Yeah.
way to help is just eat less meat in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's like they say that's like the biggest contributor.
Eating less meat.
It's like commercial agriculture.
And even eating less like red meat.
Yeah, red meat.
I mean, any sort of farming, any sort of abuse of the collection of resources it causes a ton. Like fishing and farming are pretty bad for the environment,
Yeah.
but they're just such massive, important industries where we live.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we all move into one little house together? All right.
Little?
Solar power.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, it has to be a little house.
Little house.
300 square feet.
Uh-huh.
All four of us.
Let's do it. Sounds like a show.
And then film it.
Yep. I'm done. I'm on. I'm doing it.
We'll use your rags.
I got the rags, guys.
Let's not do that. Let's just say we did. Pass me your Chris.
Would you guys ever get solar?
Yeah, I've thought about it. Where I live, like you can look. Actually, I think that's on Google Maps. You can see like how effective solar panels would be on your house. Like you put in your
Oh, yeah,
address
yeah.
and it
I
shows
remember
like the efficiency. Where I live, it's not very conducive to solar. For whatever reason, it's like the angle of the roof,
You live underground?
tree coverage or something.
Just wait
But
for those
it's not
fireworks
very
to go off and you'll get all the solar energy you need.
Yeah.
Bright.
Yeah, good idea. I remodeled was it last year, and at the time I thought about putting solar on the house, and I looked into it, which is why I saw that map and everything. It's just like it wasn't effective for my roof, for the shape of my roof and the angle.
Fat
angle it
upfront
faces.
cost too.
Yeah, but
I guess you could pay them off over time, but
it's true.
you can never really look to make profit on those unless you stay in the same place for a really long time.
That's true. I mean, it's a
Or
good thing,
not
right?
profit,
Well,
savings.
I mean, and if you think about it, if you have like a system with like solar panels and like a Tesla power wall, if like the power goes out, you could still continue to power your house.
Yeah.
You have to think about it from a
Ooh.
practical perspective. And like, plus you could also theoretically, I don't know how it works, but would your power be cleaner then because you're coming through essentially a big battery? You're
Yeah.
not dealing with the same voltage spikes and drops as you would in a commercial power feed.
I mean, is that really an issue?
Oh yeah, I have UPSs all in my house for all of my equipment.
Don't transformers absorb that? Or do they
No,
not?
God no.
I hear they're more than meets the eye.
No, they don't.
But don't they control the voltage that
there-
ends up in your device?
There's acceptable tolerances
Okay.
that are allowed within the power feed that's coming down to you.
You ever had a phone charger?
I have had phone
that-
chargers, yeah.
Well, no, that it charges your phone, but like all it does is slow it from dying.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Is
Where
it because you're still using it at the same time as it being charged?
it might be it, and that might be it too. But
Or just
also,
as
it's
like
like
a low
it charges
wattage?
so slowly that you're like, this is just delaying the inevitable. We're gonna die.
Yeah,
just like
And when I had my Prius, if I plugged my phone into the USB port that was in there, whenever I first got my Prius, I don't know what I had, like an iPhone 3GS or something. It's like, oh, this is great, it charges my phone. But then like as the phones progress, it's like, oh no, it doesn't. Like it just slows down
It just
Yeah.
makes it not die.
the drain on the phone, right? It doesn't actually charge
Yeah.
it.
I think a lot of car chargers are like that.
Yeah, it's because they put so little
Yeah.
power out.
I love looking at the chat and seeing when my pun hits the live stream. So right now.
I was I guess I was kind of late to all the World War III stuff and all the stuff that happened with the Iranian general man.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd use my Alexa to, because I started reading stuff on Twitter. I was like, oh, what's happened? So I was like, device, show me the latest headline. And I guess it just read out the last headline that it displayed on the screen.
Uh-huh.
And the headline was, I was expecting to get something about, the
Iran?
potential war. The headline was, Puffins seen using tools.
World War III.
2020, baby.
The puffins are rioting. They're rising up.
They've learned.
Oh man.
I didn't look into that story. I don't know what tools they found these
I was
puffins
gonna
using.
ask, yeah.
Immediately I was like, I don't think that's what
Read the previous headlines.
Puffins using tools.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
It's
puffin scratching itself with stick is said to be the first evidence of a spit take.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah. You thought it meant like a hammer?
The bin, I moved the bin because there was flies. I gouged all over my hand.
Oh God.
They're getting you something.
I don't know what I was expecting. That's obviously what it was going to be.
Oh, you
thank
should.
you.
Well, it's paper towel. It could be a rag.
It could be a
Could
rag.
be. Who wants to clean that up from Gavin?
Oh dear.
Because what you can do is you can, like, you say you lose a sock. You lose a sock. You only have one sock. It's a rag now. Perfect for cleaning. Cause
Yeah, you just stick it on your hand and go.
Your hand fits in it. Now it's a rag.
Oh God, it's on the table.
You could be wiping your mouth off with my old sock.
That's a pretty good idea.
My socks are so small though.
Oh, you
'Cause I have
need bigger
a lot of
feet.
ankle socks, but also my foot is only a size like
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, you need bigger feet.
Okay.
Just buy bigger socks and then convert them into rags.
Yeah.
Or just buy.
You could buy. You could buy. Well, no, that wouldn't work. Also, you could buy one long sock and cut it in half and make two. But I was like, nah.
A nice cozy sock.
If you could buy one long sock, cut it in half, and then sew up the other.
So much work. Also, where in the fuck are you gonna buy one sock?
Well, no, you buy two big socks and make 4 socks out of them.
Obviously. I like the way you think, Chris.
Is there a way to cool just the room you're in
Dampers
on your vents?
in your ducts.
I close the vents that I don't use as much.
I see there are some homes too that
Yeah.
have room control.
I have some dampers in my, or some vents in my house that I can control with an app on my phone. So that's like, so for example, like you're saying, during the day when I'm not in my bedroom, I'll have the vents in my bedroom closed. That way, no heat or air conditioning is being wasted going into that room.
Yeah.
Then, half an hour before I'm going to go to bed, I have a schedule. They'll reopen.
That's awesome.
That
And
way.
have you noticed the saving in electricity?
Oh, absolutely. Makes a huge difference.
Because there's
The problem is that there's very few companies that make them, and the implementation isn't always great. But you can, if you have like a professional HVAC installed, you can have dampers which are put into the duct as opposed to on the vent that close and open, and you can kind of program those. In fact, we have a damper system here. Remember when we first moved in, we had the damper controls out front so that we could open and close as we were learning how the air flowed in this building, like how to open and close.
We used to just put
Or direct
umbrellas
airflow.
underneath the air
Yeah,
vents.
there's some over here.
Yeah, there
still, I
used to
think.
be. Aren't there some still
There's
in
one
here?
right there.
Yeah. Because they're these giant tubes that just like one desk would be ice. Because this giant tube would just be shooting ice cold air at it.
We've talked about it before, but in our office where we sit for RT Core, the bathrooms in there
Are
either fucking freezing or like saunas.
Yeah.
yeah
because
rooms
whatever
without windows
because
get
they
like that.
Yeah, they have their own vent and they're always shut.
Well, they're on like I guess this like they're all parallel.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever controls like these offices across here also controls all the bathrooms. I forget why can't the grid system essentially. And so if it's like hot or cold at all and the heating or air conditioning is on, those bathrooms just get like the brute of it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The brute?
The bulk of
Brunt.
it.
I like how
Brunt.
there's a. Can I?
I
comment
can't
how-
talk in
there's a-
2020.
Right now we have a coat rack in the bathroom, but it's just a giant dildo stuck to
yeah.
the wall. I was like, oh,
Is that where the bathroom sweater is hanging?
yeah, it's stuck. There's that giant dildo stuck to the wall, and the sweater's hanging off of it.
Yep.
Someone in the chat said, try turning off the heat. That will cool your home.
Very good.
Thanks. The heat is the sun.
Do you think there's how much energy savings do you think it is not shaving?
What are you on about? What?
What, you mean like using the water to...
No. Like not shaving every day with an electric razor. How much do you think you save
Not
shaving every
much.
3 days?
I assume you'd never even
Nothing.
see that on the bill.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
0.
I mean,
Okay, I guess I'll shave.
Maybe over the course of like 100 years, it would make a tiny
also,
dent.
my electric thingy lasts forever.
Right.
And if
Barely
it
have to charge
dies,
it, right?
if I leave it for a week, it'll work again. Like it just...
It's like solar powered or something.
You ever
I
had
would
that where a
think-
battery will just recharge in your luggage? It wouldn't recharge.
I
You
think
don't
if
have
you-
enough to...
would be
To
sweet.
use it a little bit.
The
yeah.
worst part was probably the water running the whole time as you're shaving.
Well, I don't use the water. I have
Oh,
electric
if you have an
shave, yeah.
electric one, yeah.
Do you shave
Would it be
into a
sweet?
bag?
No, I just this little thing and I dump it. What would be
Dump it.
sweet is if it could somehow turn your hair, burn it to make energy, like a little oven inside that would generate. It's so you don't. It'd be hair powered.
Why don't we capitalize on hair power?
Hair powered razors.
The hair powered podcast.
I'd be the most
Hair
powerful of
powered
you all.
razors
Oh,
are.
it smells so bad.
But think of it. They could run for forever.
For forever.
Fur forever.
Hair powered razors 2020.
So if you don't have any, I guess if you're shaving, there's hair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're never run out of energy because you're always just every time you shave, you're putting more gas in the tank.
Do you shave your pubic region?
I give it a trim. I clean
trim?
things up.
Do you use like an electric trimmer for that, or just
Every
like
once in a while.
like scissors?
Yeah, both. I can depending on.
Has everyone in the world done the thing with their pubic hair where they take a bit, they twist it, and then cut it?
Yeah,
Has everyone done
With
that?
scissors?
Yeah.
No.
I've done it.
Twist it. What's the twisted?
Well,
piece?
you can get more bang for your
yeah,
buck.
it's because then you get a more bigger chunk off.
Yeah.
It's also like easier to control. In the chat, let me know if have you twisted your pubic hair and cut it.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be
All right, team
more of
twist.
a growler thing.
Team twist over here.
Team twist.
Yeah, I don't want scissors near
Yeah, you don't
junk.
want that.
yeah.
Oh, I've definitely.
When I was younger, I used to use scissors.
I've so many times I've cut myself.
Penis balls.
No, it's always the testicles
But not with scissors.
with scissors.
Oh.
Yeah,
How did that happen? What were you doing?
cutting my trimming pubes.
Yeah, but if you're pulling the stretchiest piece of skin on your body and going at it with scissors, bloody hell, Chris, you could have lopped off. You need my skin graft.
It's not great.
Did you self circumcise?
Getting a lot of
No,
yeses
that'd
in
been
the
done
chat.
before.
I've
lot of
nicked,
twisties.
Yeah, no, yes, no, yes.
I've certainly nicked the old scrotal skin with a electric one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just get a little nick on it.
What I don't understand, I've never, this frightens me to death, is like a straight razor or like
Like a
like actually
cutthroat.
shaving like testicles.
Do people use a straight razor on
Or-
testicles?
I don't know, but some people like.
No, you can't do that.
No.
It's not smooth.
There's people.
No,
I've seen
no,
porn.
no.
I've seen porn where there's no
you
hair.
know porn is not real.
But someone has to cut the hair.
No, it's probably wax.
Do you think they wax?
Can you wax?
You
You
can't
can
wax
wax.
your testicles,
You're saying using a straight razor.
son.
huh?
You're saying using a straight razor. Don't act like
Or not a straight razor. What do you call those? Like a manual. Getting
Like a
it.
cutthroat razor. Like, what are these?
Yes. So, people cut. There are people with no hair on their
can't
dicks.
do that with a
How'd
ball.
you get smooth balls?
That'd be like cutting like mozzarella.
People have done it, and it frightens me. whether it be a straight razor or waxing, either way, I don't think you could wax your testicles.
Of course you can.
No, you cannot.
You cover it in wax and rip that shit off.
No,
You know your
because
hair
it
comes
stretches
out.
too much. It stretches too
No,
much, Gavin.
you-
There's no way
Yeah,
you're just.
you
it's
put the
like
wax
pulling,
on and you crack them like an egg.
What do you mean it stretches too much? Like you pull and it just infinitely stretches? What do you
That
mean?
skin stretches.
That is still,
It's
it has a
still-
limit and then the hair comes out.
No, but then you're like, no. That's just bad news.
shave
You're
it.
just at that point. You're just.
The only thing I'm thinking
shave it.
about
They
during
shave it
this
with a thing?
Yeah.
whole discussion
He's right.
is the fact that once I was told by Zach Anner that his testicles are so loose that they touch the toilet water when he sits on the toilet. And that's the only thing I'm picturing.
No. When it's hot, they lower. You know.
To be
Yeah.
fair, American toilets have the water real high up.
Yeah, that's true.
Not
and
anymore.
also, and when you're
Maybe not
hot,
anymore.
like
The,
the
high
different.
efficiency ones don't have the water as high
Yeah.
anymore.
But compared to an English one where the water's
I
like...
found a WikiHow
No,
article
don't
about.
show that.
We're showing it to you,
Yeah,
and
let's
not
show
to
it.
everyone else.
No,
That
this
is how
fine.
you
It's
wax.
the diagram.
Yes, that's it.
What? I don't. What am I looking at?
I don't even really...
What do you, Barbara? What
You
do
don't know
you
what that
think
is?
you're looking at?
You should be really accustomed to that view.
So wait, where's the anus? Is it on the bottom?
No, it's on the top where the graph paper is.
Or what if he's upside down?
That's why I don't know what I'm looking at.
missing from
the
it is
blue
the
line
shaft
going
is
through.
up on his belly button. There it is. We don't. Why are we even doing this? We're not going to show it.
Okay. You can let WikiHow this.
Go down, scroll down one. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh,
Checking yourself out in the mirror is a very important step.
can we actually have a link dump when we talk about stuff on the screen?
I know you could totally wax balls. I don't know how
I
you
would
do
never
it.
do that. That sounds like
That's
like horrible
Oh, shit.
torture. That just seems like poking a bee's nest.
poke. You have a way with words, Chris. You're-
What are the bees in this situation?
Your testicles, dude.
sperm.
like
Oh,
like
no.
or whatever.
Are you
Either
afraid
way,
you're-
you're like it's gonna hurt.
Do bees have nests? What about a narwhal nest
Narwhal.
or a unicorn?
Oh my god. Is it that film festival in France? Is it Cannes
Can.
or Cannes?
Con.
It's Cannes.
You can
speak French,
con
You
it.
tell me.
You
Isn't it a name of a place?
Name of a person.
You
in
can
Star Wars. I mean Star Trek.
you can
What?
call it
Con?
anytime or can it call. Never mind.
I've always said can.
What just happened?
I've also heard people say cans.
I've always said
Cans.
I've heard cans.
I've heard Cannes.
can.
Can film
Can.
festival.
Someone in our office was saying con today, and I was like,
like,
I've never heard someone call it that before. But I don't know if they knew something that I didn't.
You can call it whatever you want.
Pronounce can.
Thank you, Chris.
That's what the joke I was trying to get out earlier. And it didn't happen.
Oh, is that what that was?
This is so stupid.
Okay.
So I looked up how to pronounce that word on Google. And it says, starting with the most obvious note, the S on the end is silent.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, instead of the C, pronounce it as if there was a K at front.
In case you pronounced it san.
That's all it says.
So it's
The
no
S is-
indication if it's con or can.
No indication.
Get this right. Here's what you can do when you're pronouncing C's. Imagine it's a K.
So stupid.
No, when you're saying Gavin, the G sounds like go.
Govin.
It's not Javin. But I'm gonna call you that from now on.
I feel like the internet is becoming slightly better with spreading, like rules about spreading misinformation. Like Flat Earth videos always getting taken down or hidden. And I think that's a good thing. But did you see that Netflix has made this Gwyneth Paltrow show about her Goop company?
I only saw because you tweeted about it.
What?
Yeah, explain that.
What a load of old shit.
What is
Why are they
this?
paying
Have
for that to be...
have you heard of this Goop company?
What are you
No.
talking about?
It's like Gwyneth Paltrow's like, shove these crystals up your vag. It'll, all this stuff and all these like weird, unscientific
For
treatments.
$1,000 or something.
Hippie shit, all this crap.
And
You can
she's
tell
the
I'm not a fan of it.
one promoting it?
It's her
company.
company. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And it's just a load of old wank. And to be fair, I don't know what angle the Netflix series is taking.
Right.
Whether they're actually making fun of it or whether they're just promoting her scam company. I don't know. But I'm surprised that in 2020, that's a new show that Netflix is behind.
Well, I mean, we're at a point where there's a measles outbreak in Austin because of so many people are not vaccinating. So, I mean, does that really surprise you that we have to see some metaphysical bullshit stuff on Netflix?
Yeah.
What is this? She's selling some kind of boost. What is this? A bite-sized mental boost in your cafe au lait fix. It's a little chew for $55.
It's all like supremely expensive nothing
That people
that
are
so
absolutely
many
gonna
people have bought into.
fall for, yeah.
And I feel like it's borderline irresponsible to put that on Netflix. But, you know, we should have the freedom to make and watch anything we want, right? So I'm like between...
She should
it's
have the
just like-
freedom to make and sell whatever she wants too, right?
Yeah. I'm just blown away, though. I'm just so... It just seems so odd to me now in today's age of... Let's have like real shit and not this nothing bullshit.
I think it's a perfect sign of the times. I agree with you, by the way.
But
I agree. I don't like this. But
right, but what if Netflix made a show to promote Flat Earth? Would you be like,
Well, they
why are they
made
doing
it-
this? Why are we having this right now?
They made
There's
Why
a
it
do we need this?
documentary that
But that's more about,
disproves it.
well, it doesn't prove or disprove anything. It just focuses on the people who believe flat Earth is true.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah,
I know.
I just don't know what angle they're. I don't know if it's promoting this company or whether it's. I guess I just need to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't really want to watch
I
it.
know I someone who didn't believe in climate change, I sent them the Flat Earth documentary on Netflix
yeah.
and they were like, wow, it's amazing having that conversation. And she like talking to them. I had a conversation about that documentary for a while, and then I was like, that is what it's like arguing with you about climate change. Where it's like science says it's this, everyone else agrees it's this, but you're denying all the facts.
you aren't kidding. You are going to talk about it a lot more in 2020, huh?
Yeah. Sorry.
Because there is. I mean, there are people who will take the crystal out of their vagina and be like, "That was brilliant. That's definitely worked for
Because
me."
of placebo. But also, it's just like there's an argument to be made for if people just need something to get them through something that they're going through, and like they find like, oh, I actually feel better after doing this. And it's like whether or not it actually has a medical or scientific effect on them, but like if it made them feel better.
Well, then
I'm not also, this is me not like vouching for this company and this thing.
put something cheaper up your vagina.
A rabbit's foot.
Sure. If someone could convince me to, I'll do it.
How much does a penis cost?
That's free, baby.
there's a
Tampons, though, are way too expensive.
few billion of them in the world.
It's funny you mentioned like, oh, you think people are spreading less misinformation nowadays, but still,
I don't think they're spreading this. I think more companies are cracking down on it.
Okay, that's fair. But I still see so often, and this is like a message to people watching this too. Like I see people comment on Rooster Teeth stuff or YouTube videos in general who say things with such fact. Like not in a way where it's like, oh, I heard this. It's just like, no, this is the case. Like I was reading the comments on Always Open that you were on this week, Gavin.
Did that come out?
It came out today.
Oh, sweet.
And someone commented, Barbara and Gavin used to date and now it's really awkward for them. Like they just say that as if that's fact.
I'm glad y'all got over it. Like, to be able to reconcile and work together
But
still.
it's just like, it's crazy to me that people just like will say things that they maybe have heard somewhere or like broken telephone or whatever it is and just like state it as fact and believe it blindly without any sort of, maybe I should fact check this.
Or just I heard, or there's a rumor that.
Yeah,
Remember when
and
you
then
and I
someone
dated
will
Chris?
read that and take it as fact.
I mean, I heard it was pretty good.
There was
What?
When we dated, I heard.
It was also the same thing. We filmed that.
I don't know where
Why
the
did you
bit
make
went.
it weird?
I was
Like,
trying to,
it was already weird to begin
I
with.
was trying to say like it's not true because I heard.
Are you okay?
It's a rumor. It's like, well, I heard, or there's what's the,
Oh,
it
no,
might
Chris.
be true that this happened.
Chris.
Never mind.
Gus is never going to have a little in-joke with you ever again now.
Never mind.
There was also, we filmed at this Airbnb a couple weeks ago because we were filming a short there. And we decided to stay at the Airbnb throughout the day and like film some other RT Life content. And we filmed this thing where we ordered pizza from 3 different pizza places. They're obviously like, it was Domino's, Papa John's, and Pizza Hut, because it's like whatever these places deliver. And we know they're not local. And someone commented, they're like, oh, I wonder why they didn't order home slice or anything like that. And someone commented, oh, that's because this is in LA. And it's like, what? When did we ever say that? Like, it's just
It
people
wasn't
just
in LA.
They just state things as fact, and it's so crazy to me that people
I
are just
was
like,
reading a comment on the Lasso video, the Halo Reach Lasso video that came out, and we have our game audio quite low so we can hear each other.
Yeah.
So there was this bit that was being explained in game audio, but none of us could hear it. But there were the phantoms were actually coming out of this massive teleporter, which is something I've never seen in Halo. I didn't remember that being a thing. So I was like, is that thing teleporting phantoms? Like, is that thing like birthing phantoms out of it? And someone in the comments wrote, no, the Covenant never had teleporters. It must be like the angle you're looking at it from must be like a glitch. So I was like, oh, I was reading that. I was like, oh, okay. And then I played the level, like just in my own time.
yeah.
And the guy's literally like, oh, they're teleporting phantoms. I was like, why is this guy like so forcefully putting this stuff
Like, so-
without any like? I think it's just like no.
People
You're
just speak with such confidence in some
it doesn't take
matters.
long to verify something.
Right.
The fact
But
that
it
you're
takes
putting
less time to not verify and speak with confidence.
That's absolutely true.
Very true.
Yeah. I
Just don't believe everything you read on the internet, kids.
when I used to do competitive speech when I was in high school, and the kind of speech I would do, it's like you would be given a topic, you had 30 minutes to prepare a 7-minute speech, and then you had to give like a position, and they call it persuasive speaking. Like it was like a topic, and you had to persuade someone to think the way you did. So 30 minutes of prep, 7 minutes of speech. And I remember once my coach told me, he's like, listen, sometimes you're going to get a topic and you're just not going to be able to prepare anything for it. So when that happens, just start making up statistics. And I said, what? He goes, just start pulling numbers out of your ass. He's like, they're not going to check it. And at the time, I thought, I was like, that's really shitty. And
Well,
now
you know,
it's
like 64% of statistics are made up.
but now as I've gotten older, it's like everyone does that. That's the guy talking about the teleporter or like anything you read online where it's like, oh, they're in LA. It's like everyone's just like, oh yeah, whatever.
99% of fishing nets are plastic.
That's right.
But that was like you
It was
prefaced that by saying I'm wrong on this. I think it's wrong.
I also said, like, I heard somewhere
Yeah.
that this was it. I'm not sure if it's correct
exactly,
or if I'm
and
correct.
that's the right
this.
way of regurgitating.
But even like I did that too. I don't think that's even right too for someone to leave a comment like I heard this, but to preface it by saying like I have no idea if I'm right or not.
Yeah.
I could be talking out of my ass. But yeah, people just state things as fact. And it's just
Trump
crazy
does
to me.
that all the time with stats and
Yeah.
figures, and that is not.
I almost made the
That's
joke,
not a political
but
thing,
It's like,
that's
oh, is that
true.
Trump's campaign? Right.
And to be fair to me, I said that about Trump in like 2012 on this podcast that this is not political.
Yeah.
That's just him as a person. He's always done business that way, where he'll just lie and say numbers at people, and they're just like, well, he knows the exact figure, so
Right.
Yeah.
So he's got to
He
be
must
right.
be right.
You
I think
saw
it's
that
like
video of-
podcast 100 and something. I said that about Trump.
You see that video of Trump? I think it was in 2012 or 2011, maybe talking about Obama,
Or he's, the president's going to start
a war with Iran.
Yeah.
Get elected. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like
So I
didn't
made
age well.
a tweet that I think people misinterpreted the other day.
What was it?
Like people were talking after the assassination of this Iranian general. People were talking a lot about World War III, and I made this like meme template post. That was like people talking about like Gen Z and millennials talking about being afraid of World War III, and Gen Z being the first time, or Gen X being first time, because Gen X grew up under the premise of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing he was always afraid of. Like, oh, at any moment World War III is going to actually happen, and it was kind of like a
I remember Jeff saying that on a podcast. He was like, I used to go to school thinking like Russia might attack. at
right.
any
Like we would
point.
have drills in school, be like, all right, the atomic bombs are coming, hide under your desk. So it's kind of like a callback to that, and so many people got offended by that. Like, oh, Gen Z and millennials fought, in wars in Afghanistan. I was like, I'm not saying
Right.
that didn't happen. I'm just saying like this constant threat of a global war. It's just a cyclical thing. It happens. It's happened before. It's going to happen again. Like no need to get so worked up about it.
Wait until we're.
Let's just all calm down.
Really just
I
want
did
world
think
peace.
it was. I did read one comment that someone was like, "Oh, it's like a world war would actually start because one person was assassinated," and it's like, check out World War One. Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people told me my my tweet was in poor taste or disrespectful. I was like, listen, that's not the point. The point is we're all just being alarmists. It's happened before. It's going to happen again. Don't worry.
Listen, Canada's still up there. I could go back home
Yeah,
anytime
like-
I need to.
To the
Might have
igloos.
to.
What's the age for getting drafted here?
18.
I don't.
Or like, what's the age range? I guess.
I would
I think
imagine
it's 18 to
it's-
25 is the primary draft range.
Yeah.
But it might go, in extenuating circumstances beyond that. But I don't know.
I've
I don't
never
know.
been as happy as I am to be 30 right now. Although I'm
You don't
Canadian,
wanna-
I don't think they could draft me.
You don't want to go fight?
Not really. Rather not. Do you?
I mean, if needed. I don't think I can fight for this country, though, can I?
No, I don't
I'm
think
not
either of
allowed-
us can.
I'm not even allowed to give blood.
We're
You're
not
allowed to give
vote.
blood?
No, they don't want our foreign blood.
Wait,
Really?
really?
Yeah.
It's because it's metric.
Am I not allowed to give blood?
We need a
like it.
pint of blood, not half a liter.
I feel like one time I tried to get blood and I think they said I drank too much
Drank so much booze?
or something. I had something that was low or
Maybe that dream was real.
no. Oh, you know what it was? You know what it was? Is in college I tried to sign up for a medical study.
Go on.
You do medical studies to, where you go in and you test drugs for money, like you're a lab rat.
Yep.
And I tried to do that, and then they were like, "Oh, your liver has too much bilirubin, or something."
Billy
or
Rubin?
something. I don't remember.
Billy Rubin.
I don't know. And they were like, "Did you drink a lot the night before?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm so hungover right now." They're like, "Yeah, you can't be in this drug test study."
Yeah.
Billy Rubin.
I think that's what it's called.
What is he trying to say?
Is it real?
What?
Bilirubin is a brownish yellow substance found in bile. You didn't have enough bile?
Something was wrong with my liver because I drank too much the night before.
Or maybe your liver was...
My liver was like, "What the fuck did you just do to me last night?"
Is there anybody out there named Billy Rubin? I gotta meet someone
I
named Billy Rubin
guarantee you
now.
there's someone named Billy Rubin.
Oh, maybe it's just British blood they don't want because of Mad Cow. A lot of people are saying that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, we still can't
Maybe
vote.
Canadians can do it.
I can't vote until got citizenship. So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think I could be drafted.
Hmm.
I would assume.
It's in the past, they've only drafted men. I don't know if they would extend the draft.
Well, they'd have to
To
change the
women at this
law,
point.
I think.
Yeah. Because women still don't register for selective service, do they? Do they? Is
No.
there a woman here? Did you all register for selective service? No, they're
Getting some
saying no.
handshakes.
Would that be
Someone
a draft
said-
for this?
Okay.
No. That's
It would never happen.
I saw someone tweet it the other day, and I think AOC
Billy Rubin.
retweeted it. It's like the draft already happened.
Mhm.
The draft is poverty. The draft is whether or not you're in a place in your life where you are privileged enough to not serve in the military, or where the military is something that you have to go to further your chances in this country.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So it's like it's a really fucked up way to look at it, where it's like you can have people in power make these decisions that don't directly affect them or their families. It affects people in a lower socioeconomic status than them.
Yep.
Apparently, the podcast I mentioned that Trump thing on was the tequila one that we talked about last week.
Jesus.
Was it really?
Was it actually?
Sponsored by the tequila. Well, it
That's
wasn't
like-
even sponsored, right?
That was a
No, no,
while.
no,
they just
that was
gave
a
you guys
really
a-
long time ago. That was in the annex.
I think that was
No,
in the
it was
conference
it was
room.
in the
No.
conference room in
66.
it's
Oh, was it
636,
that
yeah.
long?
Yeah. I remember being in there like...
Yeah, that was an audio
Tiny.
only. That's
Damn.
before you guys did video.
Yeah. We might have done video like every now and then at that point, but it was
Yeah.
rare.
We're coming up on Chris's birthday podcast.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have some Billy Rubin problems there.
Where
Let's
we've all
Eric,
agreed to have a lot of alcohol.
we need to invent a shot and call it the Billy Rubin.
Okay.
Should it be
should
brown?
be-
Well,
it
it
should be the
says
right
that it's
color.
supposed to be brownish yellow, so.
Brownish. Okay, we be like Goldschlager and whiskey.
Why can't we put like a mixer and whiskey?
No.
Gavin
I mean, there's a lot of
Like a ginger ale and whiskey.
when it comes to booze, there's a lot of
because
good.
it's gotta fuck your liver, dude.
What?
It can't be watered down if it's gonna fuck
If you
up your
have
liver.
enough of it, it'll fuck your liver up. We're not trying
I feel
to
like
fuck our
brown
livers
is
up.
easy to accomplish with a good booze, but yellow. How do you get good yellow?
Goldschlager and whiskey, baby.
Yeah,
Yellow
but-
Gatorade. Do you know anyone who calls Gatorade by the actual flavor?
Gatorade.
What?
What? You know, it's from the Gatterberry.
What the hell are you talking about most of the time? What are you on about?
I don't know. It just came out. We were talking about kids and cons. Then I was like,
These podcasts, look.
I was like, is there another way to pronounce Gatorade?
I had like predictions for what podcasts without Bernie would be like for an extended period. I didn't expect this. The podcasts are just loopy as hell. We don't know what we're talking about. We don't know.
I know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm dead.
No, Barbara, I've never heard anyone call Gatorade by
Okay.
the name. Like, what are even the flavors?
I think there's like Arctic something.
Arctic something. Oh god, it's everywhere.
Hey, you want a paper towel?
Yeah, I'm going. Okay.
You want a rag?
Arctic mist, Arctic frost, something.
Yeah, hand me one of those Arctic frosts. Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's just like you're a fucking monster if you do that.
No, that's a different drink.
It's blue Gatorade
Nice.
Yeah, it's the killer.
or Gatorade if you prefer.
So what year did we date?
Oh, you tell me, Gavin. I don't know. What year would have it made sense for us to have dated? I guess like when you first got here,
Is that when you were single?
briefly.
I was single then.
God, I was single for like 2 months when I moved here. 3 months.
Move fast, huh?
And then I went on Match.com.
Did you really?
I sure
remember.
did. And I dated a guy for 2 months that I met on
I
Match.com.
remember that guy. We played a board game with him.
Yeah.
That was
did.
a bell end.
I do not remember that guy.
I don't think Gavin liked him very much.
didn't.
Probably because we used to date and he was
Yeah.
jealous.
No.
I wanted in on that.
People are going to pick apart this goddamn podcast and take audio clips from it. Be like, see?
I do want to say I had a lot of comments about asking about Olive Garden. We have RT Life that will probably just put all that in, all
Okay.
the finals and all the results.
Did you end up gaining any weight?
Hey, look at me.
What,
No.
You look pretty
No.
what
good,
does that mean?
Chris.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't think so. No.
You
No.
don't think
no,
so?
No, I didn't. No, I'm net even.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
What?
I've been vegan for plant-based. I've been plant-based for 3 months now.
Mm-hmm.
The worst plant-based meal I've had in those 3 months was the fucking pasta at Olive Garden I had with you.
Really?
Gosh,
Which is not their fault. That's not the place I would go to if I wanted a non-meat-based meal.
I will eat. I eat vegetarian there sometimes too.
It's different than vegan.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was not great.
Well, you and Eric both. Y'all went in with.
If I went just a couple weeks earlier
Uh-huh.
when I was eating meat, it would have been fine.
Gavin went. You had a good time. It was good food.
Yeah.
You never took me?
It was fine.
I invited you.
You did, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I know it didn't work out.
I'm a busy lady.
also went with all of Achievement Hunter?
All of Achievement Hunter went.
I went separately.
Did I ever tell it? Do we ever tell why all of Achievement Hunter went?
I don't think so, but the funniest fucking part of that video is when the waitress is like, Chris, you brought friends. Usually you're just in here by yourself.
That's what she said when I went with Eric.
Oh, they're shaming you for using their amazing free pasta pass.
They've got to shame him. They lose money every time he goes
Well,
back.
don't sell the damn thing then.
The reason so much of Achievement Hunter went is because I was slacking with Jack about it, and we were like, "Oh, we're gonna go this day or that day," and then I was like, "Oh, actually, we should probably go on Friday because Sunday's my last day." And
All of
Jack interpreted that I was leaving the company, and so he told Achievement Hunter it was my last day, and that it's like, oh well, this is his last day at the company,
Oh my god.
and that's
And they all just believed him?
well, that I guess it was a confusion thing. And so
Did you eventually tell him?
Yeah, it all got sorted out, but that's why it's so many Achievement.
Well, that's nice to know that they'll come
Yeah,
out
it's like they came
on
in-
whenever
yeah.
your last day happens to be.
Yeah, but Jack thought I was like, it's like, man, wow, Chris is his last day, and he wants to take us to all.
Did you tell them at the meal, or did you tell them before?
It was a little before.
Okay.
He stands up to make a speech.
Yeah.
Like, Chris,
And you're like, I'm not leaving. He's like, God damn it! Wait,
Yeah.
we
This is just the last day of my pasta pass. So
got it.
are you happy you
Other
did it?
kind
Was it
of
worth
last
it?
day.
yeah, it was great.
You probably saved a ton of money.
Saved a ton of money, and honestly, I went to I had dinner and stuff with people I wouldn't have normally have gone to dinner with.
We should make that a 2020 goal.
Did you enrich some friendships?
I did. I'd never had a solo dinner with Gavin.
This is true.
And then
And you guys had a solo dinner?
Yeah, I was telling Chris about how I picture him dying in my head pretty regularly. From a slow-mo guy shoot we did back in the day with the crossbow. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad you didn't get hit by
Can
that
you
thing.
talk about that?
Yeah, I think I did
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I think I've told it on the podcast, but yeah, someone was shooting crossbows at Dr. Pepper bottles. And Chris was like resetting some Dr. Pepper. And then Brandon picked up the crossbow, which some other guy had loaded without any of us realizing. And then we realized it was loaded and like it was being pointed at Chris. And I was like, okay, I'm doing all my shoots without people from Rooster Teeth.
Well, no, the thing is, the expert, we'd brought in a crossbow guy.
And he loaded it?
And he loaded it and didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
See, that's...
And the moment, because Chris was like, what the, and Brandon was like, oh, and I was just like, I had to picture Chris getting like blasted through the arsehole with a crossbow bolt.
Then he'd still be alive.
And every so often I think about that, I'm like, oh my God, that was awful. And I genuinely love shooting with no crew because of that moment. Like I'm like, Dan and I, we know everything that's happening.
Yeah.
When there's like 6 or 7 people, I lose track of who's done what. I'm not about it.
Could have loaded crossbows all over the place.
Yeah.
So now to compensate for that, you go to dinner with Chris.
Every once in a while, he takes me out.
Hey,
almost-
being on my shoot almost killed you.
Yeah.
So
Chris and I actually dated in 2012 for a little
did.
while.
Don't do
Yeah.
that. It's gonna get real weird real fast.
Chris and Gav dated. Someone already said in the
Oh, they
comments.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they haven't seen you say it yet.
Oh, damn.
All right, well, it's time to wrap this up.
All right.
So when are we doing so it'll be the episode that comes out the 20th. We're doing your
Yeah.
Not next week, but the week after.
we're doing your birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, we're
Because his birthday's the
pre-recording it
18th.
on the 17th.
They don't need to know that.
Well, what? Okay, well, I mean, never mind.
Check it out. We have some things in the works. Some surprises even
Billy Rubens?
for the 20th. Some Billy Rubens. All right. So everybody, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the podcast. As always, make sure you click that bell below to get notifications whenever we have new episodes. And there are videos right down there that you can watch. We have a question. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know. Have you ever twisted your pubic hairs and cut them with scissors?
The answer should be yes.
No. Let us know in the comments. We're going to settle this argument
Is
once
the
and for all.
bell below?